Solve the inequality. X squared minus x minus 6 is greater than 0. Answer with a graph and interval form. Okay, we've done inequalities before, but never have we done anything higher than a first degree inequality. This is a second degree inequality because the highest power on the variable is 2. So we have a very special way to approach this. We're going to do it, there's several ways to do it, and we're going to use the sign graph method. We'll always use the sign graph method. Okay, first thing we want to do is make sure everything is on the left side and the other side is 0. Then we do our second step. We're going to factor the non-zero side. We're going to factor the non-zero side, the left side, by guessing. Okay, this means that the product on the left side is greater than 0, which means it's positive. Okay, set each of the factors equal to 0 and solve to get the critical numbers to partition the number line. Okay, so we get a -2 and a 3. We use those, mark those on the number line, the x-axis. There's a -2, there's a 3. Okay, let's find the sign, positive or negative, of each of the factors in x minus 3 and x plus 2, and then the sign of the product. We're going to choose a value in each region. On the left side of -2, we'll choose -100, plug it in. -100 minus 3 is negative, times -100 plus 2 is still negative. So on the left, we get a negative times a negative equals a positive for the product. In the middle, we'll choose 0. A negative times a positive will give us a negative. And we'll use positive 100 on the right. It makes both factors positive. They multiply to a positive. Now we're going to go back to the star. That was step 2. And we're going to shade what it tells us to shade. It said less than or equal to 0, which means negative. We're going to shade the negative regions for the product. We want the product to be negative. I'm sorry, positive. So the outer regions, not the inner region. Okay, so the endpoints we see that from the original question had no equal portion in them, and that implies that we exclude our endpoints. We put round brackets instead of boxy brackets. There's our graph. Let's make it nicer. Here is our x-axis. Here's our value, let's see, -2, and our value 3. We're going to shade everything to the right of 3, to the left of -2 with round brackets, no boxy brackets, because we're not including the endpoints. Open bracket from -infinity to -2. Union with open brackets from 3 to infinity.